Hello there everybody, how is it going and how have you been? I am EuclideanSqd, and we're back here in Duel Links to check out the newest box that they've added, Warriors Unite. So, I've already grabbed the 500 free gems that they give out. I've gotten a whole bunch of gems from leveling up Sartorius during this event. So, I'm planning to open 50 packs, but that number might change just depending on how long this video goes. As you know, if you've watched any of my videos, I have a tendency to ramble. So before I do, let's just go ahead and start opening up packs. I can already see there are a lot of synchro monsters in this box. And if you will pardon me just a second, that is not the one that I wanted. Okay, yes, I am recording. Volume levels look good. Sorry, I'm just paranoid after the last incident with the mini box. Let's see what we get. Drak Dino, a level 3 fire dinosaur tuner, 1700 attack, 800 defense. Once during each player's end phase, if this card destroyed an opponent's monster by battle this turn, you contribute one Drak monster to draw 2 cards. Alright, that's not terrible. I know there's another Drak in the game, Drak Starico, I think it's called. It's a much weaker monster, but when he's destroyed in battle, it leaves behind some tokens. So in theory, you could use Dino to tribute the tokens and just get bunch of free card draws without really losing anything. Actually, as I listen to myself, I might be a bit hoarse tonight. I apologize. Throat's just been feeling a bit weird all day. Giant Trap Hole. Regular trap card. When 2 or more monsters are special summoned at the same time, destroy all monsters on the field. Okay. Again, not sure. I feel like they've introduced another trap hole that was kind of like this, where it activates on multiple monsters being summoned at once. I don't know how frequently that happens, but interesting. And then we got a super rare in the first pack. We got Scrap Beast, a level 4 Earth Beast tuner, 1600 attack, 1300 defense. If this face-up defense position card is targeted for an attack, at the end of the battle phase, destroy this card. So, a lot like the other scraps in that they tend to self-destruct. If this card is destroyed by the effect of a scrap card and sent to the graveyard, you can target one scrap monster in your graveyard except a Scrap Beast and add that target to your hand. Okay, so if it destroys itself, you get to return a card to your hand other than Beast, so that's cool, I guess. Moving on, we have Evatile Casiniro. Casiniro. Interesting. This archetype was actually introduced when Hasselberry was around for, I think, Unlock? Just a couple of months ago. He had a whole bunch of Evatiles and Evilsaurs. Or at least the last time he came around, he had a bunch of those monsters. But anyway. Level 3 Fire Reptile, 1600 attack, 400 defense. At the end of the battle phase, if this card destroyed an opponent's monster by battle, you contribute this card. Special summon 2 level 6 or lower fire dinosaur type monsters with the same name from your deck. Their effects are negated and they are banished during the end phase. So you summon them and then they are immediately gone. Weird. I assume there's going to be something that works with that, but I really don't know. Grappler. A level 4 water reptile with 1300 attack, 1200 defense. It's a normal monster. Another one of those situations where if you don't have anything better, you can use it, but there's plenty that's better. Next we have Deskbot003. Never heard of these. Level 3 Earth Machine, 500 attack, 500 defense. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one Deskbot monster from your deck, except Deskbot003. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can target one Deskbot monster you control. It gains 500 attack and defense for each Deskbot card you currently control until the end of this turn. Alright, so you get a free monster when you normal summon it. And it boosts the power of other Deskbots. So I'm assuming they're all going to be kind of weak to make up for that, but I don't know, I've never heard about them. And we have more reprint cards. Secret 6 Samurai Hatsume, level 3 Water Warrior, 1600 attack, 1500 defense. You can banish 2 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard and or face up from your field then target one 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard except Secret 6 Samurai Hatsume and special summon it. You can only use this effect of Hatsume once per turn. If exactly one 6 Samurai monster you control and no other cards would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Very much a augment card to the 6 Samurais that have been introduced in previous boxes. Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. Level 3 Dark Machine, 1000 attack and defense. During either player's turn, you can discard this card to the graveyard, then target up to 2 light monsters in your opponent's graveyard and banish those targets. Interesting. Mixeroid. This is a new Roid monster, Vehicle monster that I've never heard of before. Level 4 Wind Machine, 0 attack but 2200 defense. That's pretty good all on its own. Let's see here. You contribute 1 machine type monster. Special summon 1 non-wind Roid monster from your deck. You can pay half your life points and banish any number of machine monsters from your graveyard, including this card. Special summon from your extra deck 1 Roid fusion monster with the same level as the number of those banished monsters, ignoring its summoning conditions, but destroy it during the end phase. You can only use one each effect of Mixeroid once per turn. That feels like a little bit of a grammatical typo, but point is you can only use either effect once per turn. Let's see, so special summon 1 Roid fusion with the same level as the number of those banished monsters. So if you want to special summon a level 8 Roid fusion, you'd have to banish 8 Roid monsters from your graveyard. And then you lose it during the end phase anyway, so oof. You better be sure that that Roid monster is going to win you the duel, otherwise that's a lot of sunk cost for something that doesn't stick around that long. Legendary 6 Samurai Shinai. Level 3 Water Warrior, 1500 attack and defense. If you control a face-up Legendary 6 Samurai Mizuho, you can special summon this card from your hand. That's cool. If this card is tributed, select 1 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand except Legendary 6 Samurai Shinai. Okay. So, easy to special summon. Presumably that could help with, say, synchro summoning, though I don't know what Mizuho is. And then if you tribute it for anything, you get to recover a 6 Samurai from your graveyard. That's, honestly, yeah, that's just pretty good. Nitro Synchron. Level 2 Fire Machine Tuner, 300 attack, 100 defense. If this card is sent to the graveyard for the synchro summon of a Nitro Synchro monster, draw a card. Alright, nice and straightforward. And Ally of Justice Cyclone Creator. Level 3 Dark Machine Tuner, 1400 attack, 1200 defense. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card from your hand to return spell trap cards from the field to the hand equal to the number of face-up tuner monsters on the field. Alright, so that's always going to be at least 1. Presumably you would want other tuners, so that you can get more spell traps out of the way. The only annoying thing is that it just returns to the hand, so your opponent could just reset them next turn. But that does get rid of traps, at least, which is nice. Plus, once you send their spell traps away, you could simply synchro summon for something big. Now you don't have to worry about stuff like a floodgate trap hole or a wall of disruption or something like that. We got another Nitro Synchron, another Hatsume, and Jurak Meteor. 2, 4, 6, 6. A level 10 Fire Dinosaur Synchro, 2800 attack, 2000 defense. Requires 1 Jurak tuner and 2 or more non-tuner dinosaur type monsters. Very specific. When this card is synchro summoned, destroy all cards on the field. Then you can special summon 1 tuner monster from your graveyard. Okay. So you synchro summon it. It immediately blows itself up along with everything else, and then you get a tuner back. I mean, upside, it's only when it's synchro summoned. So if you have a way of special summoning it out of the graveyard, it'll stick around, but that's very odd, to say the least. Are we getting another super rare? We got Scrap Soldier, a level 5 Earth Warrior Tuner, 2100 attack, 700 defense. This card cannot be used as a Synchro Material monster except for the Synchro Summon of a Scrap monster. If this face-up defense position card is selected as an attack target, destroy this card at the end of the battle phase, as if it would live. If this card is destroyed by the effect of a Scrap card and sent to the graveyard, you can select one Scrap monster in your graveyard except Scrap Soldier and add it to your hand. So basically the same effect as Beast, except it's limited to only Scrap Synchros. Weird, but okay. We got another Mixeroid and another super rare. 6-style Dual Wield. Regular trap card. If the only monster you control is one 6 Samurai monster in face-up attack position, target 2 cards your opponent controls, return those targets to the hand. I can already see this being very annoying. I know there's a fairly good 6 Samurai deck, or at least there was a fairly good 6 Samurai deck running around in the meta for a while, and the simple fact that you could use this to send the only monster your opponent controls and their only face-down card back to their hand, for example, is kind of obnoxious. I mean, I like the card, but it's going to suck dealing with the card. Moving on, we have Deskbot Jet. Kind of a cool monster, it seems. It looks like it's a giant, giant airship, because I can see little Deskbots on it. Anyway, level 10? Yeah, level 10 Earth Machine Synchro. 500 attack and defense. 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners, so very easy to summon. This card gains 500 attack and defense for each Deskbot card on the field. Right, so it at least starts at 1,000. You can only use one of the following effects of Deskbot Jet per turn, and only once that turn. You can target one Deskbot card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon one Deskbot monster from your deck. Or you can target one Deskbot card you control and one face-up card on the field, and destroy them both. I mean, that's not terrible. I mean, it seems weak, but I'm sure that there's other Deskbots that do all kinds of crazy things, like when they're tributed, they, another effect goes off or something like that. Another reprint card, Shien's Dojo. Continuous spell card. Each time a 6 Samurai monster is normal or special summoned, place 1 Bushido counter on this card. You can send this card to the graveyard, special summon 1 6 Samurai or Shien effect monster from your main deck whose level is less than or equal to the number of Bushido counters on this card. So, very slow charging spell card, but if it survives, you get basically a free monster. And yet another reprint card, Scrap Golem. Level 5 Earth Rock, 2300 attack, 1400 defense. Once per turn, you can select one level 4 or lower Scrap monster in your graveyard and special summon it to either player's side of the field. Though, at the very least, unlike some of the other Scraps, it doesn't blow itself up if you do something, so if you can summon for it, it's decent, I guess. Backs to the Wall. Trap card. Pay life points so that you only have 100 left. Special summon as many 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard as possible. You cannot special summon more than one monster with the same name, or a monster that has the same name as a monster you already control. Okay. So I guess the idea with this is that if you have some combination of 6 Samurai in your graveyard that you know will let you win, you can use this and take the gamble. Seems risky though, because like it says, backs to the wall, you only have 100 life points left. If your opponent manages to do any kind of effect damage or weaken them in any way when they attack, you're going to be in trouble. Mispolymerization. Regular trap card. Activate only when a fusion monster is special summoned. Return all face-up fusion monsters to their respective extra decks. Okay. This definitely feels much more like a card meant to help you farm against certain duelists than to actually use in the PvP arena. But, I mean, although it just says when a fusion monster is special summoned, not when a fusion monster is fusion summoned. So this would also work against things that come out of the extra deck in other ways, like the Gladiator Beast fusions, or the XYZ combination monsters, or actually any of the Masked Heroes too, so this might have some potential to help kind of put Anki down a few pegs. But, interesting trap card. And Scrap Goblin. Level 3 Earth Beast Warrior Tuner. 0 attack, 500 defense. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this face-up defense position card is selected as an attack target... Excuse me, sudden yawn. Sorry. If this face-up defense position card is selected as an attack target, destroy this card at the end of the battle phase. If this card is destroyed by the effect of a scrap card and sent to the graveyard, select one scrap monster in your graveyard, except Goblin, and add it to your hand. Okay, so very much like the other two scraps we've seen, Beast and Soldier, but it could, like, it at least guarantees that the effect goes off because it can't be destroyed in battle. So I guess there's that. I'm still not seeing the whole point of the scraps. Anyway. Legendary Secret of the Six Samurai. Level 4 Dark Warrior, 500 attack, 2000 defense. When you normal or special summon a secret Six Samurai monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Legendary Secret of the Six Samurai once per turn. Fair enough. Once per turn, you can banish one level 4 or lower Six Samurai monster from your graveyard. Until the end of this turn, this card's attribute, level, and attack and defense become the same as that banished monster's. Okay, so it basically adopts the stats of any Six Samurais that are in the grave, but only for the turn. So if you try to attack with it, it will go back down to 500 at the end of the turn, so you better have something to protect it. Okay. Barbaroid, the Ultimate Battle Machine. I've definitely never heard of this thing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Level 12 Machine Earth Fusion. 4,000 attack and defense. 5 Machine-type Roid monsters. Okay. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase. This card cannot attack your opponent directly. After damage calculation, if this card attacked an opponent's monster, negate the effects of that monster, including in the graveyard. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Okay. Very nasty monster, but requires 5 machine-type roids. I know there's that Vehicroid Connection Zone spell, which is kind of like a weird polymerization specifically meant for things like this. I think it'll work, but I don't think it lets you fuse out of the graveyard. There's not many cards that let you fuse with stuff in the graveyard anyway, so summoning this thing is going to be tricky, but if you do, it's pretty nasty. And Deep Space Cruiser 9. A level 9 light machine, 900 attack and defense. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one other machine-type monster from your hand to the graveyard. Why would you want to do that? That seems weird. There's definitely a purpose for this thing, but I don't know what it is. Kagemusha of the Six Samurai. Level 2 Earth Warrior Tuner, 400 attack, 1800 defense. During either player's turn, when exactly one face-up Six Samurai monster you control is targeted by a spell card, trap card, or card effect that could have targeted this card, you can activate this effect. That spell, trap, or effect now targets this face-up card on the field instead. So it basically can draw attacks to itself, or effects to itself. That's cool. Swift Samurai Storm. Continuous trap card. Each turn, after the first time a Six Samurai monster you control battles, all 6 Samurai monsters you control gain 300 attack until the end of the turn. Okay, so you can attack with the stronger one first, and then all the weaker ones get a power boost. It's also not too bad. And then a Cyclone Creator. Alright, so not a bad set of our first 10. We got 2 super rares. We didn't see any ultra rares. Let's go ahead and get another 10. And while the game is loading that, I will go ahead and take another drink. Excuse me. Ugh. Sorry. I try to turn away from the mic as much as I can to kind of keep the gulping sounds going. Anyway. Magia Sheldon? Level 3 Water Warrior. 800 attack, 2000 defense. Cannot be special summoned except by its own effect. If this card is tributed for a tribute summon, during your next standby phase, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. However, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck during the turn you activate this effect. Okay, so it's a reusable tribute summon, but it locks you out of doing things like fusion or synchro summoning. Interesting. Another Barbaroid, and Jurak Velo. Level 4 Fire Dinosaur. 1700 attack, 1000 defense. When this face-up attack position card you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Jurak monster with 1700 or less attack from your deck. Alright, that's pretty cool. So it can replace itself. It can swap out for perhaps a more defensive Jurak. I know there's another Jurak in the game called Jurak Terra, I think it's called. It's only got 1200 attack, but any monster that battles with it is returned to the opponent's hand at the end of the damage step. So if you lose Velo, you can always drop a Terra to try and slow your opponent down. Very nice monster. Very nice monster. Deskbot 002. Level 2 Earth Machine, 500 attack and defense. If this card is special summoned, you can add one Deskbot card from your deck to your hand. All machine-type monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense, except for this card. I noticed it keeps saying Deskbot card, so I presume there's going to be some like Deskbot spell or trap at some point as well. Another Sheldon. And Elder of the Six Samurai. It's actually kind of cool. He's in like a little mechanical booth. Level 3 Earth Warrior, 400 attack, 0 defense. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Fair enough. Trying to move things along here. We're already at 20 minutes. Another Deskbot Jet. Charubin the Fire Knight. Fusion of Monster Egg and Hinatama Soul. It's a level 3 Fire Pyro. 1100 attack, 800 defense. No effect. As usual with these sorts of things, if you don't have anything else, you can use it, but I don't know where you find Monster Egg. I don't know where you find Hinatama Soul. All three are probably weak monsters if my memory serves me right, so I would not use this. And another Meteor. Summon Over. A field spell. Each time a monster is special summoned, place one summon counter on this card, max 6. This card with 6 summon counters cannot be destroyed by card effects. At the start of each main phase 1, if this card has 6 summon counters, the turn player can activate this effect. They send this card to the graveyard, and if they do, they send all special summon monsters their opponent controls to the graveyard. Okay. If you can time it right, that could be good, because you could just, get rid of whatever big thing your opponent has summoned. My only problem with this card is I don't know if it can be activated if the other player doesn't have any special summon monsters. Because basically, if it can be activated under those conditions, and you mistime it, your opponent can just use it right away, even if you don't have any special summon monsters, and just get rid of it entirely. So, it could be better. Not to mention it requires 6 special summons to happen to actually be used, so it's actually not all that great now that I rethink about it. Kagemusha the Six Samurai, and another Jurak Velo. We got Gold Waves, Kagemusha of the Six Samurai, Charubin the Fire Knight, and Quillbolt Hedgehog. I love this little card. Level 2 Earth Machine, 800 attack and defense. If this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You must control a tuner monster to activate and to resolve this effect. So, as anybody who has watched the early parts of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's anime would know, Yusei loves this card. You summon, like, Junk Synchron or, again, just any tuner, and this thing can pop out of the graveyard and add 2 levels into the synchro summoning, so it's great. Another Sheldon, another Elder, Megaroid City. Field spell card. Kind of a cool graphic, to be honest. You can target one other card you control, destroy it, and if you do, add one Roid card from your deck to your hand. That's cool. During damage calculation, if your Roid monster battles, you can send one Roid monster from your deck to the graveyard, switch the original attack and defense of your battling monster during the damage calculation only. Alright. You can only use each effect of Megaroid City once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters when you the turn you activate either of this card's effects, even if this card leaves the field. Alright. So, I suppose that makes Mixeroid a little bit better, because you could just keep using this thing to send Roids out of your deck to, charge up for it, for lack of better terms, but I mean, still, just the whole you lose a fusion monster after turn ends kind of sucks. Another Summon Ogre, Scrap Shark, a reprint. Level 4 Earth Fish, 2100 attack, 0 defense. When an effect monster's effect or a spell check card is activated, destroy this face-up card on the field. If this card is destroyed by the effect of a scrap card and sent to the graveyard, you can send one scrap monster from your deck to the graveyard. And Legendary 6 Samurai Kageki. Level 3 Wind Warrior, 200 attack, 2000 defense. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 4 or lower 6 Samurai monster from your hand. While you control a face-up 6 Samurai monster with a different name, this card gains 1500 attack. Alright, that's pretty badass. So you immediately get a second monster, and this thing goes to 2000. That's nice. That's very, very nice. Ally of Justice Omni Weapon. Level 5 Dark Machine, 2200 attack, 800 defense. When this card destroys a light monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, draw one card. If that card is a level 4 or lower dark monster, you can reveal that card to special summon it. Alright. Interesting. Again, I don't know how prevalent lights are, really, but it's interesting. Very interesting. Scrap Searcher, yet another reprint. Level 1 Earth Winged Beast, 100 attack, 300 defense. When a scrap monster you control, except Scrap Searcher, is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, while this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. When this card is special summoned, destroy all face-up monsters you control except scrap monsters. Okay, again, I still don't get what scraps are supposed to do. And we've got another golem. Let's see... Road Synchron. Level 4 Light Machine Tuner, 1600 attack, 800 defense. When using this card as a synchro material for the synchro summon of a monster other than Road Warrior, reduce this card's level by 2. If this card attacks, at the end of the damage step, increase its level by 1 until the end of the turn. Weird. So Road Warrior, by the way, is the cover monster for this box. It's the first ultra rare in the list up there. Yeah, so basically it counts as a level 2 tuner for anything other than Road Warrior. I think Urgent Tuning is in the game, which I think is the only card that lets you synchro summon during the battle phase. So you could put it up to a level 3 if it attacks. Interesting. Another Grappler, and Evilsaur Elias. Level 6 Fire Dinosaur, 100 attack, 2400 defense. When this card is special summoned by the effect of an Eviltile monster, you can special summon one level 6 or lower Fire Dinosaur type monster from your hand. Interesting. I feel like these are supposed to kind of work with the Jurax. Not quite seeing it just yet, though. I'll have to like kind of look at them all side by side. Sorry. Sheehan Squire. Level 1 Earth Warrior Tuner, 300 attack, 700 defense. During damage calculation, in either player's turn, if a 6 Samurai monster you control battles, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, and that monster cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. That's pretty cool, so it protects any 6 Samurai. That's nice. Another Grappler. And, oh, here he is. Legendary 6 Samurai Mizuho. 1600 attack, 1000 defense. Level 3 Fire Warrior. If you control a face-up Legendary 6 Samurai Shinai, you can special summon this card from your hand. Alright, so they each special summon each other. Once per turn, you contribute another 6 Samurai monster to select and destroy one card on the field. And that's what Shinai did, right? If it gets attributed, it does something with the 6 Samurai in the graveyard, I think. That's kind of cool. Alright, so that was the next set of 10, and we went through those a lot faster. I feel like there were not quite as many long effects that time around, but anyway. Let's see here. We got another Deskbot 2. Another Sheehan Squire, another Elder. Starting to hit lots of duplicates. Monster Egg. I was right. It's a level 3 Earth Warrior for some reason. 600 attack, 900 defense. Normal monster. Child's Play. Continuous spell card. Each time your opponent summons a monster, gain 300 life points. Your monsters cannot be destroyed by battle while you have 10,000 or more life points. Definitely feels like this is another card that's kind of meant for farming. Like farming legendary duelists as opposed to being used seriously in the PvP arena. And another Cycle Reader. Hatsume, Road Synchron, Deskbot 3. Deskbot 1, here we go. Level 1 Earth Machine Tuner, 500 attack and defense. This card gains 500 attack and defense for each machine type monster you control. If 2 or more machine type monsters are special summoned at the same time while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card. Interesting. These are all very odd little monsters, and I kind of like them, but I also don't. There has to be some other card in this box that I haven't found yet that is kind of another, like a key card for them. Back to the wall. Legendary 6 Samurai Inishi. Level 4 Light Warrior, 1700 attack, 700 defense. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can banish 2 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard. To target one face-up monster on the field, return that target to the hand. You must control a face-up 6 Samurai monster with a different name to activate and to resolve this effect. While you control 2 or more face-up 6 Samurai monsters except Legendary 6 Samurai Inishi, this card gains 500 attack and defense. Kind of hard to use the effects, but can't really complain about a 1700 warrior. Pretty good, at least stat-wise. Another Scrap Soldier, legendary. Here we go. Here's Shinai. If this card is distributed, select 1 6 Samurai in your graveyard. Add it to. Okay, yeah. So the idea with Shinai and Mizuho seems to be that Mizuho attributes Shinai to destroy something on your opponent's field, and then you can use Shinai to recover an important 6 Samurai from your graveyard. That's cool. Another Meteor. I want to see what the other rare synchros are. We got a normal rare synchro. Jurak Velfito, level 5 Fire Dinosaur Synchro, unknown attack and defense, 1 tuner, and I think that's 1 or more non-tuner dinosaur type monsters. It's hard to tell at this resolution. This card's attack and defense are equal to the total original attack of the synchro monsters used for its synchro summon. Alright. Excuse me. If this card attacks a face-down defense position monster, you can destroy the monster immediately with this card's effect without flipping it face-up or applying damage calculation. Alright, that's not too bad of an effect, honestly. I'm not super familiar with a lot of, like, low-power synchros. Well, I mean, right off the top of my head, there's Road Synchron. That becomes a level 2, and it would give it 1600 attack at the bare minimum, so all you have to do is find it at 3. A level 3 dinosaur to combine with. Chamberlain of the 6 Samurai, level 3 Earth Warrior, 200 attack, 2000 defense. Unlike pretty much every other 6 Samurai, it is a normal monster, but 2000 defense is pretty good. And another Inishi. Sheldon, Secret 6 Samurai Genba, level 2 Fire Warrior Tuner, 500 attack, 2100 defense. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one of your banished 6 Samurai monsters, add it to your hand. If exactly 1 6 Samurai monster you control, and no other cards, would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Alright. Alright, and another Evilsaur Ilias. Okay, every time Akiza's Eyes have shown up, we've gotten a super rare. So, I mean, we got another super rare. We got Summon Over, we got Scrap Soldier, and indeed it does. We have Nitro Warrior, a level 7 Fire Warrior Synchro, 2800 attack, 1800 defense. Requires Nitro Synchron and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Let's see here. Once during each of your turns, if you activate a spell card, this card gains 1000 attack during the next attack this turn involving this card during damage calculation only. Okay, so that's a very complicated way of saying that basically during your turn, if you activate a spell card, this card gains 1000 attack. I guess kind of in general. I mean, not until it does attack, so I guess some effects might be able to work. I don't know. If this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, after damage calculation, you can target one face-up defense position monster your opponent controls, change that target to attack position, then this card can make a second attack in a row on that monster. Okay, so that's why it specifies the next attack, or why the first part of its effect is so weird, is that it only gets that 1,000 point boost on that first attack. So if you can pull off a second attack with this thing, it does go back down to 2,800, and barring anything like any other buffs, like an equip spell, for example. Pretty cool synchro monster, though. Jurak Galim, level 2 Fire Dinosaur Tuner. Here we go. There's another option for Velfito. 1,200 attack, 0 defense. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, your opponent can discard one card to negate this card's effect. Otherwise, destroy the monster that destroyed this card. Okay, so it's a little bomb that takes out whatever destroys it unless your opponent gives something else up. That's kind of fun. I kind of like that card just for that. Ally of Justice Field Marshal. A level 9 Dark Machine Synchro. 2,900 attack, 2,600 defense. Accepts any tuner, but requires 2 or more non-tuner monsters, so basically 2. This card cannot be special summoned except by Synchro Summon. When this card destroys a face-down defense position monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, the controller of this card draws a card. That's just kind of a good all-around synchro, honestly. Doesn't have any weird activation effects like some of the other Ally of Justices where they have to destroy a light or battle with a light or something like that. It's just anytime it takes out something in face-down defense position, you get a card. That's nice. Nice and simple. And another Jurak fellow. Omni Weapon, Nitro Synchron, Double-Edged Sword Technique. Regular trap card. Target 2 6 Samurai monsters in your graveyard. Special summon those target in face-up attack position. During the end phase of this turn, destroy them, and if you do, take damage equal to those destroyed monsters' attack. Oof, okay. So... probably don't want to activate this during your opponent's turn, even though it might be tempting to, just because your opponent could simply end their turn and then you take a ton of damage. I see the purpose of this card as something you activate at the start of your turn. You get 2 monsters, synchro summon with them, tribute for them, do whatever you can to then get them off the field before they self-destruct and hurt you. But interesting. Very interesting. Let's see where we're at. We're already at 40 minutes. Holy crap. We've only done, what, 30 packs? Alright, let's do another set of 10, see what we get, and I'll judge from there. Where does the time go when I do this? Swift Samurai Storm, Legendary Secret, Asceticism of the 6 Samurai, I think that's how you pronounce that. Quick Play Spell, select one face-up 6 Samurai monster you control, special summon one 6 Samurai monster from your deck with a different name but equal attack to the selected monster. During the end phase of this turn, destroy the selected monster. That's weird, so it destroys the original instead of what you special summon, which is usually what happens with cards like this. Weird. Weird card. Monster Egg, Jurak Hera, reprint card, level 6 Fire Dinosaur, 2,300 attack, 1,500 defense. I really like this card because when a defense position Jurak monster you control, except for Hera, is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. So, literally, anytime a defense position Jurak is destroyed, this thing can just revive itself out of the graveyard, and then your opponent has to deal with 2,300 all over again. And another Mixeroid. Come on, can we at least get an ultra rare, please? Sheehan Squire, Emergeroid Call. Counter trap card. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated while you control a Roid fusion monster, negate the activation, then send all cards with the same name as that card from the activating player's deck and extra deck to the graveyard. Wow. You can banish this card from the graveyard, then target one Void monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of Emergeroid Call once per turn. So, your opponent tries to use anything while you have a Roid Fusion in play, and you not only stop it, you also forcefully just remove every other card of that they have. That's kind of nasty. Magical Spring. Quick play spell. Draw a number of cards equal to the number of face-up spell trap cards your opponent controls. Then discard a number of cards equal to the number of face-up spell trap cards you control. Alright. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, after this card resolves, spell trap cards your opponent controls cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. But by battle or card, weird. Also, their activation and effects cannot be negated. You can only activate one Magical Spring once per turn. So, it can give you some good draw, but if I'm reading this right, you're always going to lose one card just because Magical Spring itself will be face up while you're running through the effect. Well, I mean, you could activate it at the end of their turn, and then you don't have to worry about their spell and trap cards are invincible sort of thing, so I guess there's that. Not as bad as I thought. Omni Weapon, Jarak Galem, Double-Edged Sword Technique, Deskbot 1, Shinai, Hera, Grappler, Jarak Monoloth. Level 3 Fire Dinosaur Tuner, 1500 attack, 1200 defense. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Alright, straightforward. And another reprint card. Hand of the Sixth Samurai, level 3 Fire Warrior, 1600 attack, 1000 defense. If you control another face-up Sixth Samurai monster, you contribute one Sixth Samurai monster to target one monster on the field and destroy that target. This thing is very annoying. Let's see, another Child's Play, Ally of Justice Field Marshal, Scrap Golem. Did we get an ultra rare? Please tell me I got an ultra rare. Grappler, Deckbot 1. It's another super rare. But this is Red Sparrow Summoner. Level 4 Fire Spellcaster, 1600 attack, 1300 defense. When this card you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster and sent to your graveyard, so it has to be attacked, you can't just crash it into something, you can special summon one warrior-type monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck in attack position. Alright, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Decent stats as well. Spellcaster, lots of spellcaster cards. Deskbot Jet, Musakani Magatama. Counter trap card. When your opponent activates a spell card, trap card, or monster effect that destroys a card while you control a face-up Sixth Samurai monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Nice, but a little too specific. And then Mizuho. Okay. Degen Force. Trap card. Tribute one level 4 or higher dinosaur-type monster. Special summon 2 level 3 or lower reptile-type monsters from your hand and or graveyard. Alright, that works with the Evosaurs and the Evotiles. Very interesting. Another Chamberlain, another Elder. Okay, that one went really fast. I'm going to go ahead and get the set of 50, and then we'll go through and see all the missing cards. Which unfortunately seems like it's going to be pretty much all of the ultra rares unless we get lucky here. Which we might have. Evitile Casinero, Giant Trap Hole. We got an ultra rare, Shuffle Reborn. Spell card. If you control no monsters, target one monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated, and banish it during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one card you control, shuffle it into the deck, then draw a card, and also during the end phase of this turn, banish one card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Shuffle Reborn once per turn. Weird. I wonder, if you were to summon something out of your graveyard, and then, say, tune with it to create a synchro monster, would it then banish itself out of the graveyard? Or does it have to be, like, still be on the field to then get banished? Interesting. I mean, I know there's plenty of cards that are okay being banished and can be resummoned after being banished, so you could work that card into something with those. Giant Trap Hole, Scrap Shark, DD Unicorn Knight. Level 4 Light Warrior, 1800 attack, 900 defense. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned if your opponent controls a monster and you control a face-up tuner monster. When this card is special summoned this way, you can select one of your removed from play level 3 or lower non-tuner monsters and special summon it. Alright, so this card is another way to recover something after Shuffle Reborn has gotten rid of it. You cannot normal summon or set the turn you special summon this card. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that that last effect also works in reverse, so if you normal summon a tuner, I don't think it will let you special summon Unicorn Knight in the same turn. So be mindful of that. Mispolymerization, Scrap Searcher, Deep Space Cruiser 9. Still not entirely sure what the hell that thing's for, but anyway. Backs to the Wall, Degen Force, Asceticism, Deskbot 2, Child's Play, Hand of the Six Samurai, Genba, Fire Knight, Kageki. Wow, these are flying now. Deskbot Jet, Magatama, Jirak Giganoto. Level 7 Fire Dinosaur Synchro, 2100 attack, 1800 defense. Accepts any tuner but needs one or more non-tuner dinos. While this card is face-up on the field, all face-up Jirak monsters you control gain 200 attack for each Jirak monster in your graveyard. Hello, that's kind of awesome. So at minimum, everything's going to gain 400 attack, because tuner, non-tuner. So Giganoto is technically a 2500, and it makes everything else stronger as well. That's actually pretty cool. I like Giganoto. That's a good card. I'd use Giganoto over Meteor, honestly. Jirak Velfito, Kagamusha, Hand, Scrap Soldier, Metroid Call, Deskbot 3. I can see what looks like another Deskbot monster over on the side there, but this is something. Deskbot 9, level 9, Earth Machine, 500 attack and defense. Once per turn during your main phase, you can make this card gain attack equal to the combined attack of all Deskbot monsters you currently control except Deskbot 9, until the end of your opponent's turn. Only this card can attack during the turn, or only this card can attack the turn this effect is activated. If this card battles, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. If this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one Deskbot card you control instead. Okay. I'm recalling that some of the Deskbots let you special summon from the deck, or at least from your hand, so that's a way to get around this thing's high level. Interesting. Very interesting. But what I was saying is I think there's another Deskbot that's a super rare, and I'm kind of upset that I didn't get that. But Monoloth and Deskbot 3. Alright. I'm gonna stop opening packs here. Let's just go ahead and go through the rest of the cards, because it's already 50 minutes. I don't know where the time goes, but anyway, moving on. Road Warrior. Level 8 Light Warrior Synchro. 3000 attack, 1500 defense. It requires Road Synchron and 2 or more non-tuner monsters. However, once per turn, you can special summon one level 2 or lower warrior or machine type monster from your deck. Interesting effect. Kind of difficult to synchro summon, just because it requires 2 non-tuners. So it would be Road and like 2 2s, for example. Well, I mean, there's Cobalt Hedgehog, that's another 2 right there, so... Excuse me. You just have to figure out how to get another 2 levels. Then we have Scrap Twin Dragon, level 9 Earth Dragon Synchro, 3000 attack, 2200 defense. Only accepts Scrap Tuners, but will take any non-tuners. It requires at least 1, obviously. Once per turn, you can select 1 card you control and 2 cards your opponent controls. Destroy the 1 you control and return the 2 your opponent controls to the hand. When this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, select 1 non-synchro scrap monster in your graveyard and special summon it. I think that's useful. I think. I'm trying to think of that in relation to a lot of the other scraps, and I'm just not familiar enough with them. Legendary Six Samurai Shi En. Nice pun there. Level 5 Dark Warrior Synchro. 2500 attack, 1400 defense. Accepts any warrior tuner and 1 or more non-tuner 6 samurai monsters. Once per turn, during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell trap card, You can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Okay, so the first spell trap card, every turn that your opponent tries to use, you can say no. That alone is pretty strong. If this card would be destroyed, you can destroy another face-up 6 samurai monster you control instead. Okay. So, only thing is that, again, it can only stop a spell trap card once per turn. So if your opponent has a spare, they could, use whatever one they don't need, and then set off the one that they actually wanted to activate, if you kind of, fell for the bait. So, kind of be wary of this thing, but moving on. Quick Draw Synchron. Level 5 Wind Machine Tuner, 700 attack, 1400 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one monster from your hand to the graveyard. For a Synchro Summon, you can substitute this card for any one Synchron Tuner monster. Cannot be used as a Synchro material, except for the Synchro Summon of a monster that lists a Synchron monster as a tuner. Okay, so, long story short, this thing can be used to replace something like Junk Synchron, or Nitro Synchron, or Road Synchron, so that's kind of what it's here for. I think Nitro's a 7, so you could, for example, discard a Quill Bolt, special summon Quick Draw, special summon the Quill Bolt, combine them to make Nitro. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Legendary 6 Samurai Kazan, level 4 Earth Warrior, 1800 attack, 500 defense. If you control a face-up 6 Samurai monster with a different name, you can special summon this card from your hand. While you control 2 or more other face-up 6 Samurai monsters, this card gains 300 attack and defense. Okay. Not bad. Mobius the Frost Monarch. Oh boy, this thing. Level 6 Water Aqua, 2400 attack, 1000 defense. When this card is tribute summoned, you can target up to 2 spell trap cards on the field and destroy those targets. No cost you have to pay, this thing can still attack afterwards, just those 2 spell trap cards your opponent has, they're gone. Mobius is awesome. Terrifying to fight against, but awesome. Scrap Factory, and oh my gosh, I just noticed that there's the thumbs up in the molten metal thing from like Terminator 2. That is an amazing reference. Oh boy. Field spell card. All scrap monsters gain 200 attack and defense. When a face-up scrap monster on the field is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon one scrap monster from your deck. You can only use this effect of Scrap Factory once per turn. Alright, so that actually makes the scraps a bit more understandable, considering every time one would self-destruct under its own effect, like say Shark or Beast or something like that, you could then replace it with something else. So that's good, I guess. And then the last of the ultra rares is Herald of the Abyss. Spell card. Pay 1500 life points, declare one monster type and one attribute. Your opponent must send one face-up monster with the declared type and attribute from their field to the graveyard if possible. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters with that sent monster's name. You can only activate one Herald of the Abyss per turn. It's interesting. Very interesting. I mean, you can technically just, for 1500 life points, you can just pick anything and get rid of it off your opponent's field. The latter effect I'm not sure about, but moving on. Into the rest of the super rares, we have Stardust Charge Warrior, a level 6 Wind Warrior Synchro, 2000 attack, 1300 defense. Accepts any tuner and non-tuners. When this card is Synchro summoned, you can draw one card. You can only use this effect of Stardust Charge Warrior once per turn. This card can attack all special summoned monsters your opponent controls once each. Not bad. Not bad, that's a nice tuner. And, oh, this is not a desk bot like I thought. Just the bright, colorful background behind it made me kind of think that. Perry Knights. Level 6 Earth Warrior, 2300 attack, 2100 defense. When you take battle damage from an opponent's attacking monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can special summon one monster from your hand with attack less than or equal to the damage you took. That's actually a nice card. It's a very nice card. You could just leave your field open on the first turn if you have this, let your opponent attack, and then just drop Perry Knights and whatever else you want. within reason, but yeah. 6 Samurai United, continuous spell. Each time a 6 Samurai monster is normal or special summoned, place 1 Bushido counter on this card to a maximum of 2. You can send this card to the graveyard, draw 1 card for each Bushido counter on this card. This is a very strong card because there are lots of ways for 6 Samurais to special summon themselves. Pretty easy to get this thing to 2 Bushido counters and then just get 2 draws. Next super rare is Burial from a Different Dimension. Quick play spell, target up to 3 banished monsters, return them to the graveyard. Alright, this is another way to get around Shuffle Reborn. So you lose something, go ahead and use Burial, send it back into the graveyard. No big whoop. Concentrating Current. Quick play spell, target 1 face-up monster you control. It gains attack equal to its current defense until the end of this turn. Other monsters you control cannot attack during the turn you activate this card. That's not bad, honestly. Like, any monster that has, like, 2,000 defense, you could turn that 2,000 defense into 2,000 more attack and then just wham. I mean, then, you know, power boost goes away at the end of the turn. Suddenly very weak monster in attack mode, so yeah, a little bit of some backfire, but pretty cool little quick play spell. And Necrofusion. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your graveyard face down, but it cannot attack this turn. So, I guess I was wrong. I said I don't think there's any cards that can fusion summon at the graveyard. Well, there's this. Unfortunately, I think when things are banished face down, they don't count as monsters anymore, so I don't know if you can recover stuff with Burial, like stuff you use for Necrofusion with Burial from a Different Dimension. You might be able to, but I can't guarantee that. I don't understand the whole rules about banishing face down because so few cards do that. Moving on, we have Ally of Justice Decisive Armor. Level 10 Dark Machine Synchro, 3300 attack and defense. Accepts any tuner and non-tuners, but requires at least 2 non-tuners. Once per turn, if your opponent controls a face-up light monster, you can activate one of these effects. Select 1 set card your opponent controls and destroy it. Send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard to destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. Or send all cards in your hand to the graveyard to look at your opponent's hand and send all light monsters in their hand to the graveyard. Then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the total attack of the opponent's monsters sent to the graveyard. You probably never want to use the last effect just because you, like, unless you know for a fact your opponent is going to have a lot of light monsters, just don't do it. But I know there is a trap card that lets you change every monster's attribute on the field to light. So I guess that's a way to guarantee that you can use your Ally of Justice's effects. But interesting. Then we have Super Vehicroid Stealth Union. Level 9 Earth Machine Fusion. 3600 attack, 3000 defense. It's a fusion of Truckroid, Expressroid, Drillroid, and Stealthroid. When this card attacks, its original attack is halved until the end of the damage step. Okay, so attacking it only has 1800, but getting attacked it has 36. During battle between this attacking card and a defense position monster whose defense is lower than the attack of this card, inflict the difference piercing battle damage. Okay, yeah, so it does piercing battle damage. Once per turn during your main phase, you can select 1 face-up monster on the field, except a machine-type monster, and equip it to this card. While equipped by this effect, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. What a weird card. Halves its own attack whenever it attacks. Doesn't gain any boost off of stealing an opponent's monster, but when it does, it just gets to attack everything they have. What a weird fusion card. Secret 6 Samurai Fuma. Level 1 Wind Warrior Tuner. 200 attack, 1800 defense. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 6 Samurai monster from your deck, except for Fuma. If exactly 1 6 Samurai monster you control and no other cards would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. I'm actually kind of surprised this is a rare, because you can just special summon any 6 Samurai, like regardless of level. Now, I mean, that said, some of the higher level 6 Samurais might say something like, can only be special summoned if blank. So Fuma can't get you that, but Yeah, there's no strength limit, there's no level limit, just any 6 samurai that can be special summoned, just out it goes. Let's see, there is Jirak Aolo, level 1 Fire Dinosaur Tuner, 200 attack and defense. You can tribute this card to select one level 4 or lower Jirak monster in your graveyard except Aolo. Special summon that monster from the graveyard. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Deskbot 4, level 4 Earth Machine, 500 attack and defense. If this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation in either player's turn, you can activate this effect once per battle. Your opponent takes no battle damage for the rest of this turn. Also send a Deskbot monster from your deck to the graveyard, except 4. And if you do, this card gains attack and defense equal to the sent monster's level times 500 during damage calculation only. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon 2 Deskbot monsters with different levels from your hand and or graveyard in defense position. Okay. So as weird as it is, I think the purpose of this thing is to send Deskbot 9 to the graveyard. It goes up to 5,000 attack to basically destroy anything scary on your opponent's side of the field, even though they won't take battle damage from it. But then when you do, you can then special summon 9 and something else out of the graveyard onto your side of the field. And then you can start using their effects. So, interesting. Interesting. Kind of surprised. Like, unless there's a normal... There's a couple of normals I didn't get, so maybe there's still a spell trap card? Anyway. Super Ancient Dino Beast. A level 8 Earth Dinosaur, 2700 attack, 1400 defense. You can tribute summon this card in face-up attack position by tributing one Dinosaur-type monster. When a Dinosaur-type monster is special summoned from your graveyard, except during the damage step while this monster is on the field, you can draw 1 card. Pretty cool. I always like when a normally 2 tribute monster has a condition that says you can tribute it with only 1 if you meet a certain requirement. I always like that. And considering that there's stuff like Aolo and other Jiraks that can summon out of the graveyard, you could combo with that to get some draw power. Pretty interesting. Moving on to the normals now, we have Grappler Angler, a level 1 Water Warrior Tuner, 100 attack and defense. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, you can target 1 monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. Okay. Definitely have to clear the way with something else first, but potentially doable. Though you can't special summon anything, so I guess if you want to do a really convoluted thing, summon Meteor. Meteor blows everything up. You summon Tuner out of the graveyard as your Tuner monster from Meteor's effect. Attack directly, revive Meteor. Interesting. Breakthrough, regular trap card. Select one 6 samurai monster you control. If the selected monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, Great Shogun Shien and all 6 samurai monsters you control can attack your opponent directly during the battle phase of this turn. Okay. I foresee that being another annoying trap card. And finally, Different Dimension Encounter. If both players have at least one banished monster that can be special summoned, each player special summons one of their banished monsters in face-down defense position. Alright. Could be good. Could be bad. I mean, you know, gives your opponent a monster, but you get yours back, so... Alright, lots of interesting cards. I guess there weren't any Deskbot Speller Traps. What an odd little set. I'm gonna have to take a look at all of them side by side again, just to try and figure out, you know, how they're supposed to be used, but anyway. That was the new box. That was Warriors Unite. Yeah, it took over an hour because I like to ramble. What else is new? So, I guess on that note, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a great time, and I hope you all have a great day. And I will see you all in the next one.